Committee. We had an incredible session this morning with the Main Street folks. And just by way of refresher, saying, you know, Main Street is the place where our community meets. It's where we come together to live, work, and play, and eat. Eating is very important in this state. And it's the center for our social and cultural activity. And I see, you know, we all sort of chuckle, but, you know, food has made us a destination. And so helping our main streets, where our merchants are located, our restaurants are located, is critically important. We've made great strides in the governor's program for streetscapes that's out there is huge for our communities. But we believe we can do more. We need resources. Our cities and towns need resources and leadership to bring together the talent and the ideas that they have, excuse me, to facilitate collaboration between and among government organizations, quasi-government organizations, the merchant associations, town administrations, chambers, local community and citizens groups, banks, all of those folks. Just by way of example, in our conversation this morning, new ideas were percolated and alliances made just in an hour and a half. We would like to see and make a recommendation that we have focused and dedicated leadership to facilitate and provide the resources and technical assistance that cities and towns need. We'd like to see that out of the Commerce Department, so that there's real dedication and focus in the effort to help our cities and towns bring to the table the things that are important to them and to help those businesses grow and thrive. We also have the second issue in sort of the Main Street, literally Main Street area, is the town and city improvement districts / areas. However they're denominated. Those improvement districts are fertile ground for economic growth and job creation, and the current regulations as they stand sort of restrict the creation of those types of districts based on population. And that negatively impacts many of our towns and cities because they don't meet that criteria. So we'd like to see if we can't take advantage of that type of legislation in a way that doesn't peg population as a criteria. The second issue, and going back to this business about food and that we like to eat, the United States has reached all-time high in craft breweries in 2015, and beer consumers continue and will continue to support and they shift to the local market. Farm to keg is thriving, and more breweries are growing literally in our state. Rhode Island has its own hops farm, and I don't know whether any of you are aware, but we also have the largest distributor of grains that are used for the manufacture of beers that happens to be headquartered in Cranston. So, yeah, yay team, right? But the problem is that our brewers face a unique challenge because they can't sell their products directly to the consumer. Currently, they can only give visitors up to a 72-ounce sample, and they can come to sample their beer. But this prohibition against self-distribution is not reflective of what the sentiment is in these days, and it impacts consumers, restaurants, farmers markets, and the growth of this very important industry. It will, if we facilitate our craft breweries, really increases revenue to the state, and will create jobs and all of those good things that we know that are important. We would like to see, and the recommendations are that we take steps to foster our ambitious and forward-looking small businesses, and we need to remove the regulatory hurdles and enable our craft brewers to grow. It should come as no surprise that Rhode Island is the only state in the region that has these types of restrictions, and it puts us behind our neighboring states, so that we are losing business and losing growth to others. And as part of our tourism that's so important here, there are indeed folks who go from state to state to purchase craft beer and to come and sample it. And when they come to Rhode Island, they can't go home with any, save 72 ounces in what's known as a growler. So we'd like to clear the way and get rid of those legislative or regulatory impediments. It also, we would like to see sort of clear the way for access to capital, because to the extent that our craft brewers are inhibited from growing, and they don't have the finances, their picture doesn't look right, they're not going to have access to capital. So we would like also to see an Alex and Ani law, as it were, for all, including our craft brewers. And those were the major issues that we addressed, and I thank you for your time.